Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing you another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the Mattel Jurassic Park Amber Collection 6-inch scale John Hammond. John Hammond was played by Richard Attenborough in the first Jurassic Park film. I'm really excited to add him to my human collection. So let's go ahead and check out the packaging here. As you can see at the top, Jurassic Park logo, Amber Collection, John Hammond, Jurassic Park by Mattel. Here he is in the package. He's got 2 alternate hands, totally 4 interchangeable hands, 2 heads, looks like an egg with a dinosaur hatching, and then his cane. The whole packaging here is sort of done in that amber. You can see the bug here, Amber Collection, Jurassic Park. At the bottom, there's a bunch of credits, and there's his barcode. And on the back, here he is posed up in some amber. So with no further ado, let's open him up. Alright. Now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He does come with 2 alternate hands, totaling 4 interchangeable hands, 2 heads, an egg with a dinosaur coming out, and then his signature cane with the mosquito and the amber at the top. But before we take a look at the accessories, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is John Hammond from the first Jurassic Park film. He was sort of the owner or founder of the park. Of course, the park didn't go quite as planned. He's a very wealthy man, very kind as well. He's in his white outfit. He's got that nice hat on. An older action figure. How can you go wrong? Nice beard, mustache, looks excellent. Glasses, look a little rough. The likeness is soft, but good for a Mattel offering. At the top, hat, a little bit of texturing going on. Not too bad there. Further down, white shirt. Looks like double jointed elbows, watch, a couple rings, double jointed knees, white shoes. Looks pretty good. I'm a sucker for civilian type characters. I'm going to find a lot of uses for this guy in my action figure world. And then, here's the figure broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, and let's start off with his hands. He's got a total of 4 hands. 2 are standard gripping hands. 1 hand has sort of a trigger finger or possibly a pointy hand, and then we have a larger gripping hand. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his smaller gripping hands. Then his next pair of hands, his right hand is sort of pointing his index finger, and his left hand is a very large grip. Now let's look at his heads. He has 2 of them. They both have different expressions, and one has a hat on. The expression on the right, a little more standard. I think I'm going to use that head as my default head for him. I don't really like the expression on the left, the mouth, it looks kind of weird, and on both of them, the eyes, they don't look bad, but with the glasses on, it makes them look awful. These are some terrible looking glasses. Here's a closer look at his first head. This one has the sort of open mouth. It's an odd expression. Not sure what they were trying to go for. Is he supposed to be talking? He doesn't really look like he's supposed to be smiling. He actually looks like he's kind of scared. It looks kind of weird. The beard looks good, the mouth expression and the glasses kind of ruin this head for me. And here's his second head. This one doesn't have the hat on and has a much more normal expression. I prefer this head for a lot of reasons. I'm a sucker for civilian characters. An old man, 6-inch scale, how can you go wrong? I'm all in for the Mattel Jurassic Park human figures, although I've actually read that their dinosaurs are absolutely fantastic. I just like these figures to enhance my overall action figure world. You can see the sculpting, the wrinkles on his forehead. The hair looks pretty good. This head is much better to the other one, in my opinion. Now let's look at his cane. Of all the possible accessories John Hammond could come with, the cane would be my most desired one. Very happy they're coming with this. Looking at it, it's a little bit soft looking, a little bit smaller than I imagined, but very happy to have it nonetheless. It appears to have that sort of bamboo stick, black tip at the bottom. Then we've got the amber at the top. They simply painted the mosquito on the outside. Probably the best way to handle it on something like this, though. Here's John Hammond walking with his cane, then holding the cane and looking at the mosquito, reflecting upon everything that's happened. Then we've got this egg. The egg has a little dinosaur coming out. I believe it's a velociraptor. In the film, Alan Grant saw this and was very concerned. The egg's a pretty nice accessory to have. There's some texturing on the white part of the egg, the shell. Pretty nicely done. Here's John holding the egg, admiring their accomplishments. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. A little bit on the smaller end of things. From bottom to the top of his head, sitting at about 6.2 inches tall, which is going to translate to a little bit under 16 centimeters. Now let's check out his articulation. Starting with his head here, of course, it can rotate from side to side. He can look up and down about that far. Can tilt his head from one side to the other, giving him a good amount of personality. Shoulders on a ball joint goes about 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. Bicep cut below his shirt, hidden pretty nicely. Double jointed elbows going about this far. His wrist, it can rotate and it's going to be hinged as well. His torso, he's got this soft sort of shirt on top. Don't get a lot there. There's a waist swivel. I think there is a ball joint there, but you're not going to get much use out of it. Legs got about this far. Ball joints in there. Forward, about that far. Back, not at all. Thigh cut. Double jointed knees. Then his ankles here. Go forward and back. Can rotate. Can't really tilt and rock much. Here's a reenactment of the scene in the first Jurassic Park film where they go to the cloning facility and see how the dinosaurs are made. You see, we've got the computers in the background, Grant and Sattler with Hammond checking out. The egg is hatching right then and there. And Hammond watching as a velociraptor hatches. Now let's check them out. Next to some other action figures. Starting off with some other Mattel Jurassic Park figures. Here he is, next to Dr. Ellie Sattler. Ellie Sattler was the other figure in this assortment. She's also from the first film. And here he is, next to the previous assortment of Jurassic Park figures. We've got Dr. Arnold and a re-release of Ian Malcolm. Here's the entire Jurassic Park collection. We have Dennis Nedry, Dr. Arnold, John Hammond, Ian Malcolm, and Ellie Sattler. Just a few more characters, and they'll have pretty much hit all of them. Add Owen Grady from Jurassic World, and you've got the entire Mattel collection. Rumor is, the next figure they're going to make is Muldoon from Jurassic Park. Now, if they just gave us Alan Grant and the kids, they would have hit on all the characters they need from the first film, and you know there is some more Jurassic World stuff planned with the third film coming out. Now let's check him out, next to a few other old men civilian type action figures. Here he is with a Hasbro, Marvel Legends, Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier from the film Logan, and then Stan Lee. Then, next to a few Mattel, Multiverse, Alfred figures. Now, next to a DC Direct, Perry White. And here, next to a Diamond Select Toys, Westworld, Dr. Robert Ford. And here he is, next to Mattel, Wrestling, WWE Elite, Freddie Blassie. Then, next to some various Commissioner Gordon figures. And now, next to a Mezco Heroes Mr. Linderman figure. And here, next to a NECA Dr. Loomis from Halloween. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a Mattel Jurassic Park figure, they're the 6-inch scale, kind of on the smaller end of things I collect. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the smaller action figure lines I collect, and work my way larger. Here he is, next to some Jazz Wars Fortnite figures. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. Then, next to some Hasbro, Marvel Legends. And here, next to some Mafex figures. Then, next to some of his Mattel brothers. Here he is, next to some Mattel, DC Universe Classics, and Multiverse figures. And here he is, next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. And now, next to some Jazzwares AEW wrestling figures. Then, next to some more of his Mattel brothers. Here he is, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And here, next to some NECA figures. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. Then, next to some McFarlane toys. And here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. And finally, next to some older Jakks Pacific wrestling figures. Overall, this is a very cool action figure, and he's right up my alley. I love using different various action figure lines to enhance my overall 1/12 scale action figure world. Like I said before, an old man action figure in regular clothing, how can you go wrong? Now, I know my opinion is not in the majority. I love this kind of action figure. Other people are probably going to find this guy boring. He was executed pretty well, about what you'd expect from Mattel. A little disappointing as a whole. Likeness kind of soft. The glasses make him look kind of bad. But I'm very happy to add him to my collection. His articulation is pretty nice. You don't really need those double joints on this type of an old man figure, but it's nice to have. The accessories are great. I love the cane and the little egg. Could have been a little better detailed. His sculpt and paint job are pretty good. I really don't see any issues there. If I were to rate this figure, I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. Probably a little higher than he deserves, but I'm really enjoying this kind of a figure. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.